Okay, so I typically will show a mobile screen on these videos just because the vast majority of people who are coming to your website are coming on a mobile device, but that doesn't mean that desktop isn't also important. And I wanted to point out something about menus on desktop today. So we're looking at the desktop. Before we get into that, though, I wanted to point out something interesting. So this is Freemark Abbey, famous Napa winery. I came to this website and I found it really interesting because the splash screen here says, by clicking submit, you verify that you're 21 years of age and agree to our cookie policy. And I thought it was really interesting that they're combining the two into a single agreement, and you hit submit and you agree to both. And because when you come to a winery website, especially wineries because of the age gateway, you often get bombarded with different pop-ups, age gateways, cookie policies, other things that the winery wants to include. And it can be very overwhelming on first visit. So I thought it was really neat how they combined it into a single thing that you would just have to submit once for. That is, of course, until I noticed down at the bottom of the screen, there is some additional cookie stuff happening. And so when I went on my phone, I realized that this cookie message that appears at the bottom of the screen actually covers up the submit button and sort of cancels out this idea of having the two things combined into a single message. So while I was initially delighted, I eventually realized that maybe this could be executed a little bit better. But that's not the main purpose of today's video. So if I hit submit, I come in, I'm on the Freemark Abbey homepage. And one thing I wanted to point out is that when you have these flyout menus that exist, there's a very difficult interaction that you need to account for. So if you notice here, no matter which of these menus I'm on, the menu actually comes down in the middle, and then I can scroll down to the middle. The problem here is that if I go to wine over here and I want to say go to Napa Valley and I move my mouse across, it actually changes because the way that the page is aligned, when I move my mouse, I end up moving over the incorrect one. And so again, same thing with visit, same thing with wine club. As I'm moving my mouse towards the top of the menu, I end up rolling over a different header, and then the menu goes away. And then I eventually realized I have to bring my mouse down and over in order to interact with this menu. So real easy way to address this would be to have the choices appear right underneath on the left side here. So just scrolling down would go through that, right? There are also some tricks you can do when rolling across so that it doesn't pop up in the first second. Put a slight delay on this so that if I'm here and I just go like that it would bring me to the correct menu. I will say, interestingly enough, and I'm a big proponent of mobile first, on mobile, this actually works much better. I still think it should be left aligned. I think it would be easier to read, but there's not that same issue that you have with the desktop site. So anyway, a pretty small thing, but can be very frustrating for someone who's trying to use this menu, and something that should definitely be addressed.